everyone.
Hi.
I'm Jenna Brandt, and I should change into warmer clothes because it's really cold out.
Yeah.
And I'm a California girl,
Oh.
so I am not used to the cold. This isn't what our winters are like where I'm from. And so I write contemporary and historical clean romances, which I always tell people there's still lots of like romance, and I call it sexy, it's just not sex. So I like to put like a lot of that in there because when I was a reader, that's what I enjoyed, and I still read a lot. So this particular book is part of my Match Made in Heaven series. It was the first one I released in it. My second one, which is a historical, we switched back from contemporary to historical, is coming out actually next week on the 13th. It's called Discreetly Matched. The scene I will be reading is, I'll give the quick backstory. These two were high school sweethearts. They were at a private prep boarding school for like nobility and the elite famous people of Europe. And something went wrong, and they broke up, and they never really knew what happened, and they're being forced into a secret engagement. So this is where they still are trying to figure out how they're gonna navigate being together when they don't wanna be. So I'm going to read for you guys. Would you like to dance? Max asked, holding his hand out to Lily. She tilted her head to the side as she narrowed her eyes. When she didn't accept his hand, he quickly added, I know you think I'm only asking you to dance because my parents are making me, but the truth is, I would really like to dance with you, Max admitted. The revelation made Lily's heart fill with warmth. She hadn't expected him to be so honest. She wanted to dance with him too, but had been worried he was offering out of obligation rather than desire. His confirmation that it wasn't the case put her at ease. I would like that, Lily said, finally taking his outstretched hand. Max guided her onto the dance floor and then gathered her into his arms. It felt wonderful to be held by him. Lily had forgotten how much she enjoyed being with Max, at least until he had ruined everything. Not wanting to think about the past, Lily instead asked, how has the shadowing with the king been going? You know about that? Max inquired with surprise. My mother informed me after finding out from my father. It's going better than I expected. The king states that I'm a natural when I actually try. Are you trying? Lily probed. Well, I didn't want to at first. I was just being stubborn out of principle. But the more I learned about what the king does, the more I found out not only was it interesting, but fulfilling. Each choice we made helped the people of Triola, and there were tangible results. I guess your father was right then. It sounds like you're a natural, which means Triola is lucky to have you as their crown prince. If only I could convince them of that, Max said with a heavy sigh. Sometimes I think I might have done too much damage, that I'll never be able to undo it all. All they need to do is see what I saw the other day at the children's wing reception. What was that? Max asked with confusion. All I did was stand around and make polite conversation. Not the whole time. I saw you with the children on the patio, Lily confessed. If people saw that side of you, they would realize what I do. There's a good man lingering just below the bad boy image you've cultivated over the years. Max blinked several times before he finally said, I didn't know anyone was watching me. I realized that right away. It was obvious you didn't know. The authenticity couldn't be faked. Then realizing she had the footage on her phone, she added, you know, you were so cute with those kids, I pulled out my phone and videotaped you. I can always send the footage over to the royal press secretary so she could release it. Max shook his head. Thank you for the offer, but I didn't do that to gain attention for myself. I think it would cheapen the experience. I respect that. I'm glad you're really thinking about the decisions you're making now. Me too. I was wondering if you would attend church tomorrow, Lily asked with a hopeful tone. Sunday is my one day to rest, the only day that the king doesn't demand I perform my royal duties. I didn't see myself giving that up. Lily dropped her eyes to the ground, trying to mask her disappointment. Despite all the influence in the world, being married to a man that didn't believe in God was the way she did could prove detrimental to the relationship. She didn't want to spend her whole life fighting about church and such things and how to raise their children. I think it's about time I show you how the dance skills have improved over the past few years, Max stated with a chuckle, trying to lighten the heavy mood that had formed between them. Max spun her into a twirl, then as he pulled her back into his arms, he whispered, You've always been so graceful when you dance. You look like a fluttering snowflake drifting in the wind. The words penetrated Lily's heart, anchoring into the very core. Never had anyone said something so romantic to her. Her eyes darted up to Max to meet his, and for an instant, she thought Max would kiss her. Instead, the moment was interrupted when it was announced that it was time for the royal waltz. For the rest of the evening, Max led Lily around the dance floor. By the end of it, she was seeing that there was a chance to have a friendship with Max, and perhaps something more with time.